On the forthcoming episode of Tap Tap Concede, Cam's mic is messed up, for which we apologize.
Broadcasting live from Nyx, the underworld. This is Tap Tap Concede.
What is up, everybody? It is Tap Tap Concede. A bit of a change up in terms of who is here today. We have myself. I'm James.
I'm Cameron.
I'm Paul.
Interrupting Paul. I'm Alex.
There we go.
Interrupting Paul is your middle name.
Yes, Alex. Interrupting Paul. Stacy.
That's a good
Verbs
name.
Have been replaced.
Yeah, you're an instant now.
Instanting
Paul.
I have
That
split
doesn't really
second.
work. So
You would have split second.
we are recording this at a time when the Theros has it just been
It
completely
has
spoiled?
last night, less than about 12 hours ago, it was completely 100% spoiled.
All right.
So we're here to talk to you about a whole bunch of cards. We got a handy little guide to tell us what the cards are.
Because
Yeah.
we have the inside text.
Don't worry about it.
Don't even worry about it at all.
So this isn't gonna be like a set review. We're not gonna talk about every single card, and we're certainly not gonna get into the nitty gritty of every single card. We don't want to, post a 4-hour long podcast of us ranting and probably making mistakes and having no idea what we're talking about.
For that, you want to
For that,
check out the Limited Resources podcast.
absolutely.
Only it's done by competent people.
Exactly.
Although there will be
Mindless rambling to an hour.
there
Yes.
will be some ranting probably.
Probably. So Paul, we will trust you with the handy guide.
Okay.
So you're going to lead us off with a card. I don't even care what card.
Do we want to do this like
I think we just
We
go through
could do a
the.
card each and just keep going.
there's
I think you just go through the book.
we have the 10 coolest cards as chosen by Wizards of the Coast.
How about we talk about all the mythics and rares? Because those are the fun cards.
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll see. Oh, is this actually done by rarity?
No, this is all done by color.
and alphabetical.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll see what we can
But
do.
I'm excited in some uncommons.
All right. Well, the first card I saw that I'm kind of in. No, I think we can just talk about anything interesting.
Yeah, that's fair.
The first one I saw that I found interesting, which was actually the one that was spoiled a while ago, but it's Kiora.
Kiora.
And I gotta say, like, when we were playing Duels of the Planeswalkers, like Kiora's deck was always my favorite deck to play.
Yeah.
It was just like big green creature, so you have something to do with your mana. Don't have any mana? Why? You can ramp. Don't have anything to cast? Why? You can card draw.
So can you read what Kiora does for us?
All right, so Kiora is a planeswalker. And it says here that she first appeared in the 2012 edition of Duels of the Planeswalkers. And what she does, let's see. I'll
So
take
the
her
first
version of her.
blue-green planeswalker?
Yes.
She's the first blue-green planeswalker. The first
Simic.
Simic-colored planeswalker.
Exciting.
So she's a planeswalker. She casts for 1 green, a blue, and 2 colorless.
Okay.
Comes down with 2 loyalty.
Okay.
And she's got +1 until your next turn. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to and dealt by target permanent and opponent controls.
So a lot of people have been basically saying just bubble your creature.
Yeah.
Like that's in a bubble.
Yeah. So, which is great. So she's got some sort of little protection ability there,
Yep.
which is great. Her -1 is draw a card, and you can play an additional land this turn.
So green time walk.
So
Well,
It's explore.
It's explore.
Which is green time walk.
people,
no, it's not.
I gotta say,
It's not.
when you especially like in set reviews or like card reviews and stuff, where people are like, so this card that lets you put down an extra land, it's basically just a time walk. It's like, I don't think it is.
Sometimes time walk is just explore.
Yeah,
Exactly.
but
It
it's
doesn't make explore.
Time walk.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Move. Okay.
and then she's got a -5.
So this is her ultimate.
Yeah, which is I think one of the lowest ultimates.
It's pretty low. So
Yeah.
you can get this out. You can get her down on turn 4,
Yeah,
and you can be doing this by turn 8,
Yeah.
9.
8. So she comes
Oh yeah,
down
because
with 2.
spends
Goes 3
3
turns plussing her.
Yep.
And then 8.
Okay.
You get an emblem that says at the beginning of your end step, you put a 9/9 Kraken creature.
So
on
you
the
release the
battlefield.
Kraken
All the
every
time.
turn.
Yeah. It's not a 9/9 legendary Kraken creature.
You know what I like about
You
that?
release Kraken.
Plural.
I didn't even know what the plural of Kraken is.
Crack
eyes.
Crack eye.
I have
What
no
do you
idea.
suppose the group name of Krakens is? A tangle?
A tangle of krakens?
Too many.
Yeah, too many of
A
krakens.
too many of Kraken.
I would submit an ovation.
An
Ooh,
ovation.
an
Oh, I
ovation
know.
of
A
krakens.
maelstrom of Krakens.
Ooh.
A have bend released of Krakens. So anyway, Kiora seems super fun. She's got a really nice top end. Her ultimate is good. She protects herself. She only comes down with 2 loyalty, which is a little small, but she can protect herself on the first turn she comes down.
Yep.
So
Well,
if
I
she
would
sticks around,
super play that.
if she sticks around for even a couple turns, then she's going to be doing some
She's
serious
pretty
damage.
sweet. Yeah, for sure.
All right. Anyway, I just saw that because I was flipping through. But let's go back to the beginning here.
All right.
What do we got? What about Bramaz,
Which one is that?
the
as the
the
King of Orestos,
King of
the
Orestos?
cat legend.
Oh, the one. Yeah.
Oh,
so
boy.
read this. This is
All right,
insane.
all right. So he's a two white and 1 colorless.
Yep.
He is a 3/4.
Which is insane
Which is
already.
already insane.
Already ridiculous.
Already bonkers.
He's a legendary cat soldier.
Okay, so you can only have one of them out at the time.
Yeah,
What
but
a drag.
he's a cat. He's got vigilance.
Oh,
Okay,
so this
that's
is already
insane.
just like
Yeah.
nuts.
He's a mythic, right?
He is a mythic.
Okay.
Whenever he attacks, put a 1/1 white cat creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield attacking. Not until end of turn. It's
just-
just there.
Yeah.
Cat bros.
Yeah, and it's not tapped.
Correct.
So when you attack, not only does he not tap, but you also get another attacker and another blocker.
Fight.
And whenever he blocks a creature, you also get a 1/1 creature token with vigilance that is also blocking that creature.
Oh, good.
So when he blocks,
Which-
he's effectively blocking as a 4/5.
Yes, which is I think I have never seen that effect before.
No, I don't think so.
We've seen the attack making more guys than attacking, but I've never seen the blocking making
No.
more guys blocking.
That card is bonkers.
Yeah,
Like
So, like,
completely.
why would you
insane.
not play this in White Weenie?
I kind of wish that what I imagine him, which it doesn't show on his picture, but I imagine him as like a big cat guy, but just covered in cats that are just like
Just-
holding on to him.
Whenever he attacks, one falls off.
Yeah,
Whenever
yeah.
somebody hits him,
he's,
one falls
he's
off.
not actually wearing ermine. It's actually just more cats.
Yeah.
All right, so that card is insane.
Yeah.
Pick
Yeah.
that card first.
Yes.
Slam it.
You can tell because it's
me.
got that orange thing in the corner.
Exactly. That's always the indication.
That's the tricky.
yeah.
The
If
tricky
there's one,
draft
if there's one
Yeah.
thing I've learned in limited play in the last 3 years, it's pick the
All
mythic.
right.
Always pick the
Always
mythic.
pick the
Always pick the mythic.
Fated Retribution.
All right.
That would be a. This is just the straight up. This is the new Wrath of God.
Okay.
So this is 4 colorless and 3 white.
So
this is a
7.
7 drops. This is a pretty major thing. But
It blows up everything, doesn't
destroy all creatures and planeswalkers.
it? Huh.
And if it's your turn, scry 2. Because this is an instant.
It is an instance.
So
Speed Wrath.
instant speed wrath. And if you deign to do it on your own turn,
yeah.
you can scry 2, which is pretty awesome.
Seems quite good for Commander. Just like
Yeah.
getting those games a little breathing room.
Yeah, yeah. It's like, I mean, it's 7, but by the time you're up to 7 mana, that's probably where you want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
Just be like, let's start again.
Like
Well,
the
I mean,
like the turn 4 wrath is always a little disappointing because you only ever hit like 1 or 2 guys with it.
in standard, it's important to hit that Wrath on turn 4 just to keep aggro off you.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
like it's like it makes sense from like a efficiency standpoint. But wrathing when you're only hitting like 2 guys is always kind of annoying.
Still pretty good depending on what those guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
I think you're usually pretty happy to be wrathing like 2 pikers or like a 2/2 and a 3x or something. Because these guys are going to clock me in 4 turns.
All right, so we also got this cycle of Eidolons.
Yep.
Yup.
So these guys are almost universally nasty. So the white one is the Eidolon of Countless Battles.
I think it's like Dolan, isn't it?
Eidolon? Probably you're
Eidolon?
I
right.
can't remember.
That sounds
It's
better,
Eidolon,
yeah.
I
Just
think.
get Dolan.
He's not-
Please.
He's not idle.
Eidolon, please.
He spends none of his time idle. So Eidolon of Countless Battles. So he's been around a bit. 1 colorless and 2 white. So this is the same as the cat guy. Or you can bestow him for 4. So that means
For 3 and a white?
for 2 colorless and 2 white. So he comes down for 1 colorless and
Okay.
2 white, or you can bestow him for 2 colorless and 2 white.
Okay.
And just to remind everybody, bestow is where you cast him and he becomes an aura on a creature
Yes.
instead of becoming a creature himself.
And then when it falls off, it becomes a creature again.
Yeah.
When that creature,
So if the
dies,
creature dies, yeah.
and remember, if the creature is killed while you're casting that spell,
It still
resolves as just a creature. Comes into play as a creature.
I did not know that part.
Now, on a vanilla test standpoint, this guy's not good. He is 1 colorless and 2 white for a 0/0.
Boo. That seems
But-
very bad.
Luckily, he has an ability, what you may guess. When he or the creature he enchants, him or the creature he enchants gets +1 for every creature you control, and +1 for every aura you control.
Okay.
So,
Huh.
with nothing else on the field,
You play this guy and he's a 2/2?
play this guy to 2/2 because he's both an enchantment and no.
No,
If you
he's
just
a
play him
1/1.
if you just play him by himself, he's a 1/1.
Ugh.
If you play him if you bestow him, he'll automatically be adding +2/+2 because he's a aura and he's and he's on a creature.
Interesting.
Now, right. So when a bestow creature is attached to a guy, they don't count as a creature, right? Is that true?
I don't know. Judge!
Yeah, there may
that I
be
don't
there may
know.
be some.
I'm pretty sure it has all the types on its card, doesn't it? Or
No, it's just enchantment creature, and then it says if you cast it for its bestow cost, it's an aura spell with enchant creature. It becomes a creature again if it's not attached to a creature.
Okay, so
right.
it's not a creature.
Okay, so it's not. Yeah.
So minimum, it comes down and it adds +2/+2 to a guy.
Yarp.
yes.
But if you have anything else, and in Theros, you're going to have lots of other creature enchantment, or lots of other auras, and you're going to have other creatures out there, then he's going to be doing some serious damage.
Mm-hmm.
And then you kill the creature, and he comes off, and he's still doing serious damage. So he's fun.
I'd just be concerned about your opponents being able to 2 for 1 or 3 for 1 you off of killing another creature and debuffing him.
Yeah, I mean, the problem is he is a 0/0. So he's got nothing. I mean, he's a 1/1
Yeah.
just by himself. So that could be, he's a little vulnerable that way.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Let's see. There's other. I see. The Eidolons aren't actually a cycle. They're just a thing that shows up.
There is a...
Yeah, there's just a bunch of them.
There's just a bunch of them. All right. Let's see. Other interesting rares.
Yeah, Paul, there was a cycle. This isn't a rare, but starting with the white guy that gives first strike to all your creatures and prevents your opponent from getting first strike.
Those are the archetypes.
Archetypes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
we'll
cycle's
definitely
sweet.
talk. We'll definitely. You want to talk about the archetypes? Are they there?
Let's talk about
do.
these guys.
All
yeah.
right, let's talk about the archetypes.
So there's a whole cycle of 5 archetypes.
Well, I mean, we did talk about these last week.
Did you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was not here.
Because they were already spoiled at that
I
point.
forgot.
The only one that we hadn't talked about was the red one, which hadn't been spoiled yet. But
We were
Graham suggested
speculating.
it was going to be trample, and it
Yeah.
turned out to be trample.
Yeah.
Super
Which
sweet.
I think
I mean-
is probably the
It's
the least good of all of the 5. Like,
Probably. Yeah.
It's still fun, but trample, I don't know. Trample is not. There's a lot of creatures that wouldn't work.
It's no first
just-
strike.
it's fine.
Yeah, I just went to sleep.
Okay.
You can move them if Alex want to move the mouse. There's a lot of creatures where trample doesn't actually make that much difference.
no.
Whereas first strike will always.
First strike always makes a big difference.
Yeah.
It's like my
And then-
combat's
and there's
amazing.
the one that gives flying is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The black one gives death touch.
Yeah, which is also ridiculous.
Yeah.
And what is the blue or blue one? What is
Blue
the
one
green
is
one?
flying. Green one
flying.
is...
Green one is,
Oh, it's hexproof.
Hexproof.
yeah, hex.
It's like,
And everybody loses hexproof, which is quite the losing hexproof is almost more nasty.
It's
the
on that
losing
one.
Pretty
and not
insane.
being able
'Cause
to
then you're
ever
like,
gain it.
Nobody can hurt me. La 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 la. Oops.
Womp womp.
All right. What we got here? We got the hero of Iroaz. I don't know. And he's just a 2/2 for 2. He's just a bear. But aura spells you cast cost 1 colorless less.
Meh. Yeah.
And he's got heroic. And whenever you cast a spell that targets him, put a +1/+1 counter on it.
That makes him a lot better.
Yeah. So he's just going to be, filled up with all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
We got Plea for Guidance. For 6, you can search your library for 2 enchantment cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand, and then shuffle your library for 1 white and 5 colorless.
I'm just trying to think what deck wants to do that. Some sort of like hard stacks control.
Yeah,
But,
I mean,
at
again,
that point, what are you getting?
in Theros, you're gonna have a lot more enchantments wandering around, right? We got the Silent Sentinel for 7 for 2 white and 5 colorless for a 4/6 flying, and when he attacks, you can return target enchantment card from the graveyard directly to the battlefield, which
It's a neat card.
Yeah,
could be very fun. And remember, that includes gods, and that includes anything with bestow.
Yep.
Now, if you bring a guy with bestow back, you can't just immediately bestow him, though, right? Because that's not he's not being
I
cast.
don't know.
Just
Well,
put them onto the battlefield, right?
Is it when they enter play or when they're cast?
If you cast this card for its
Okay,
bestow
so
cost.
it'll come back as
so
a
you're
creature.
not.
just come back as a
It's just
creature.
come back as a creature. But hey,
But hey,
value.
still good, yeah.
Yep.
Yarp.
And he's just going to be doing that. That's one of the. And he's a 4/6 flying, so he's very hard to kill, and so he's just going to sit there, getting you value.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
It's a little bit like Sun Titan.
A little bit.
Little bit. Little bit.
Only Sun Titan hit permanents too, so you could bring back like your.
And you got it when he came into play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this guy has no limit on how big the enchantment is. So,
You
all right.
Talk about Spirit of the Labyrinth.
Oh yeah. So let's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is seriously. This is like directed at. Is this directed at you? Do you think?
Probably.
They just designed this card with Cam in mind.
Yeah, my standard deck was just so powerful already.
All right. So let's read it.
So this is a 1 white and 1 colorless for a 3/1.
it's already pretty good.
Yeah. It's called Spirit of the Labyrinth, and it is a spirit, and it's real simple. Each player can't draw more than 1 card each turn.
Oh boy, take that, Blue.
Yeah.
That's
That was a cool necropotence you just had there.
idiot.
Yeah.
It's well, I mean, this is just people are calling it a hate bear, which is not necessarily correct because it's not a 2/2, but that's
It's like this is not. That's like the It's really not a floor. It's more of a.
Yeah.
It's like, this isn't a
lower-
hate bear.
lower
It's not a
surface.
bear.
yeah.
Oh, it does hate you though.
Oh, it hates you so much. This
Yeah.
is just a straight blue hoser.
Like, I mean,
And
Yeah.
black too, to some extent.
Yeah.
I mean,
Although
black is bad because they've spent like mana or they've spent life to get cards usually.
Yeah.
but black will have ways of getting rid of it.
oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah, it's true.
Getting rid of it, right?
Hey, so what happens if you skull clamp it? Do you just troll face? No, I think you still get the cards.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're just
'cause
like, haha, nobody draws except me.
Yeah, because by the time because the skull clamp is when it hits the graveyard. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so by that time it wouldn't be affecting things anymore.
Correct.
I think.
Well,
Surge.
yeah, definitely again into white weenie or any sort of like white X kind of aggro tempo deck.
I mean, hell, yeah.
Seems
3/1
real good.
for 2 goes in there regardless.
Yeah.
And
Like
then
they're playing Skyjack for that.
you have the additional value of. Now, what's interesting, I mean, it's interesting in this set because, of course, Scry still works.
Yep.
So even if you can only draw 1 card a turn, you can make that 1 card count,
That's fair.
which is good.
Yeah, I mean, in my blue-white Highlander deck, the only reason I don't play Blade of the Six Pride, which is a 3/1 for 1 and a white with no abilities, is because Daring Skyjack is the same card, only he battalion triggers to give
And the
himself
flying. Yeah.
So,
All right, so that's what we got in white.
Okay.
Is there any other white cards that we think of that were particularly interesting to you? There's like Revoke Existence.
Yeah, relevant for limited.
yeah, it
play.
seems
Super
important
relevant for
for this
limited.
format.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like one of the things that really typified Theros Limited was a lack of removal. Because they wanted you to build up these Voltron.
Well, the thing is that I think a lot of people, in terms of Limited, thought that Theros was going to be a slow format. It turned out not to be. It turned out to be a lot faster. Or it turned out to be able to support decks that were a lot faster than people thought we were going to get. So I'm very curious to see what adding a pack of Born of the Gods does to the format in terms of either slowing it down a little bit, or does this actually make it even faster? So,
but it's just it's interesting that they do seem to be adding some removal back in.
Yeah.
In Born of the Gods.
Well, it was inevitable that there would be some removal cards in the set.
Especially removal needed to deal with gods, right?
Right. Well, there is some sort of enchantment and stuff, destruction.
But it's destroy, right? Not exile.
Yeah.
Oh, right. That's true. Yeah. Whereas now, right, because all the gods are indestructible.
Yarp. You guys were talking about Thassa's rebuff earlier.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, that guy's fun.
1 and a blue, instant counter target spell unless its controller pays X, where X is your devotion to blue.
Yeah.
Because
blue devotion was really kind of underpowered.
it was.
So
standard.
by turn 3, as soon as you have 2 or 3 permanents out,
Excuse me.
that's already a really awesome card.
Yep.
Although
Oh, yeah.
That blue devotion deck also, it plays a lot of counters, but I think it wants to be playing guys more often, right? Because you want to go turn 1, Cloudfin Raptor, turn 2, Frostburn Weird, or Tiebinder Mage, turn 3, Nightveil Spectre, turn 4, Master of Waves, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's got a ramp it wants to obey, but that protects the board pretty nicely.
Yep.
I was looking at
What you got?
I'm a big fan of clone cards, and Fated Infatuation looks to be pretty fun.
See, whenever I see that card, all I think is Infatuation, does that have the same root as Fate? Or
Infatuation.
Infatuation?
Yeah.
So Fated Infatuation, it is a instant. It is for 3 blue, so you are not going to be just throwing.
You're pretty
this
hard
into
in
any deck.
blue
Yeah.
here.
And for 3 blue, you put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of target creature you control. So
Yes.
Okay.
there's a limit there. And then if it's your turn, scry 2. It's part of that. There's sort of a cycle of those ones that are instants that encourage you to play them as sorceries.
I think an instant speed Master of Waves
Is pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just a clone for 3. I mean, it's 3 blue, which is tough, but clone is usually at least 4, and then it's considered underpriced at 4. Usually these days it's 5. I mean, this is only your guy, so you can't do the thing where you copy his.
And
big
then
dude.
there was that one time they printed it for 2,
Yeah,
and it was real good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but fragile. You're talking about Phantasmal Image.
Yep.
Yeah.
Such a good card.
So that guy's cool.
They've got the new evacuation card, the Whelming Wave, which is just
Whelming Wave.
I like the flavor of it. It basically bounces all creatures except for things that come from the sea.
This card's so weird.
It's pretty bizarre.
What we were talking about? With this?
I can't remember. It doesn't hit whale, or it hits.
It hits whales.
It hits whales. And there's
2
also
whales.
Whales in standard.
Yeah, there's
in
2
standard,
whales
yeah.
in Magic.
Yeah, but one of them is in standard right now. Which is,
so it hits Krakens, or it returns everything to their hand except Krakens, Octopus,
And serpents.
Serpents, and Leviathan.
and Leviathans. Because sure.
Also, this is actually the only time I've ever seen whelming instead of just overwhelming. It's not an overwhelming wave because some of the guys didn't get overwhelmed. It's just whelming.
All right. How do we like Mind Reaver?
What does this guy do?
So Mind Reaver is a 2/1 for 2 blue. His heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Mind Reaver, exile the top 3 cards of target player's library. Okay.
Go on.
Doesn't seem very
Here's
heroic.
his other ability. Yeah. Here's his other ability. 2 blue, sacrifice Mind Reaver. Counter target spell with the same name as a card exiled with Mind Reaver.
So what's the play here? Like you swing with this guy, or you bestow something on this guy to exile a bunch of, like, 3 cards.
Yep.
You hit something relevant. You sacrifice him when they try casting it on this, on their turn.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
get, like, your bestow creature
Like, you're-
untapped to
The
block. Is
like
that-
It seems
the
pretty bad to
the
me.
heroic milling thing is totally decent.
It's
And
okay,
even,
yeah.
and it's even better than milling because it's exiling stuff, right?
Well,
Yep.
I mean, like, sometimes you want to be able to hit things in your opponent's graveyard with, like,
That's
Death
true.
Ray Shaman.
But it's milling a bunch of stuff off, and I think if you're building a deck that cares about milling, then this guy goes in there. But I don't see his last ability ever becoming relevant very often.
No, well, not in limited for sure.
Certainly not. No.
He seems real bad. Like, Curse Catcher is
Yeah.
a good version of this.
Yep,
right?
for sure.
Like, or Archmage.
Yep.
What's her name?
I don't know. I would much prefer that guy to be like sacrifice him to like counter something.
Yeah.
Or
like
sacrifice
anything.
him to like do something with one of the cards you've exiled.
Yeah.
Other than counter the same named card.
Yeah.
Like it just seems kind of meh.
It's like
Especially
the most.
considering you have to invest in him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, absolutely.
Like
It's
Right?
kind
like
of
You could
dirtily.
just scrub out.
Yeah.
like is there a counter that's counter target card that is already in opponent's graveyard?
Yeah, there's stuff like that, and it's always really marginal.
yeah,
Right.
because
And
it's
like-
always super situational.
But it's like, but this
and-
is much worse than that.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
it's like
significantly worse,
you've
yeah.
got to hope that you hit something they're playing 4 copies of, and then hope that they play that
Right.
with 3 copies left. So
Like, I mean,
And they know, and it's not like it's even a surprise too, because the guy's sitting there on the battlefield, so they know it's coming.
yep,
They can just play around it.
exactly. It seems
All right.
pretty bad.
Perplexing Chimera.
Chimera.
Chimera. Why did they say Chimera?
Chimity.
Yeah, I've been watching too many people stream.
Yeah.
All right, so
People call it chimera.
Chimera, like there's so many
Chimera?
Yeah.
Chimera, Chimera, Chim Chiru. It just doesn't end. All right, so
Chim
after that,
Charu.
Divinate.
yes, exactly. So this is a 3/3 for 4 and a blue. He is an enchant creature. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may exchange control of the Chimera and that spell. If you do, you may choose new targets for the spell. This card is weird.
That's really weird.
Currency was kind of fun and limited. in
Yeah,
some situations.
like-
I've seen people wreck with it.
Like you get this guy down and like you hope that somebody casts their bomb and it's just like, okay, here, have this 3/3.
I would play with this guy.
But it also works.
But then it works for them too, right? So that they have something.
You just don't play anything.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also works with its spells though. So it's not just like when they cast a creature.
No,
you can
it's
swap
any
spaces.
spell.
So they cast like that. They cast like some really nasty burn spell, and you go, I actually want that burn spell, and I'm gonna do it on you now.
How does that work with an X-costed spell?
I
like,
think
if
it still has the cost. Yeah, you just gain control of it. You're
you
like,
still need to
control,
invest-
but it was still casted for whatever the
so it's
you,
like-
you can't add more to it.
No, but you get it. So if somebody
But you
like,
get it at whatever
So if
they
somebody
cast it.
Sphinx's Revelations for 6,
yeah,
and
you'll be
you
like,
trade
don't
it-
mind if I do.
yeah, and it's just like I'll take those 6 cards and 6 life.
Yep.
Okay,
Yeah.
sweet.
My question is, can you respond once you have activated its ability? Can you sack it in some way?
Oh wow.
You may exchange.
Judge.
What does it say?
It says
This is gonna cause
whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may
problems.
exchange control of Perplexing Chimera with that spell.
To me,
You
that
may
would
change new. You may pick new targets. I don't
to
think
me
you
that
could.
would indicate that the exchanging control is part of the cost of activating the ability.
yeah.
In which case, it would
Probably.
be done already by the
Yeah.
time you get.
I
the
think
game.
that card
know-
would be pretty broken if you could just sack it to itself or
is
sack it
like-
to something.
This
I
is
mean,
like,
you could like do something like if the card you gain control of is like a burn spell, you could go back and burn the Chimera.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like they took Gilded Drake and stapled it to Venser Shaper Savant. Or wait a minute, is that the
No,
right
that's a
one?
funny
That's
image.
the forerun?
Yeah, Venser was an equally weird card.
Yeah, it's just like bounce a spell. Was a kind of a weird thing. I should probably explain what those two cards do. Gilded Drake is a not commonly played but extremely powerful card. It's 1 and a blue for a 3/3 flyer. When it comes into play, you exchange control of it and a creature your opponent controls. So it's really cheap and quite strong, and they get this 3/3 flyer, but you can swap it for anything they have.
Right.
And then Venser, Shaper Savant, which I hope...
Yeah,
that's not the Planeswalker.
Yeah, no.
Okay, right. I was thinking of Venser the Sojourner. Yeah, Venser, Shaper Savant is 2 blue for a flash bear that when he comes into play, he returns a spell or permanent to its opponent's hand. So it's pretty bizarre. So you can play him as like a counter spell, like Remand, or you can just bounce something.
Well, he can also save your own spells, right?
Yep.
Like if your spell gets countered, you can bounce it back to your hand.
Oh, weird.
Right? Which is one of the
He's real good and quite bizarre.
Yeah, I don't know. I would definitely play with that guy. I'm not certain when he'll be good.
I think.
Like, would you exchange him for?
Yeah. Well,
I
wait
would
a
exchange him
second.
For what's the black 660?
See what you do if they try to use removal on it, you switch places and then you do removal on his. Just be as like, no, you don't kill mine, I kill yours.
Nice.
It ends up being the same thing. But.
All right. Let's talk about some black cards.
Oh boy.
Bile Blight.
Yup.
Yep.
I'm excited.
Yep.
2 black. Target creature and all other creatures with the same name as that creature get -3/-3 until end of turn.
Love it.
I don't know how relevant this will be in limited. Pretty much it's just going to be a -3/-3 for 2, which is not the worst.
Yeah.
This card kind of hoses tokens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
I mean, it
Like
hoses almost every token.
In limited, that cat guy from the beginning who produces a bunch of 1/1 cat tokens.
Elspeth.
They're all dead.
Yeah, it kills all of Elspeth's tokens.
No, this is a
card
that
seems super
I'm
good.
definitely excited for in Highlander because there's like tons of different kinds of tokens, and then -3/-3 will hit almost every kind of creature token there is except like angels, because most things are like elephants
Krakens.
that are 3/3. Well, you don't encounter. It's like it's not going to take out your merit log, but you're dead anyway. But yeah, goblins especially, soldier tokens. Like Bitter Blossom tokens, all that stuff. It's just, it's going away.
All right. Champion of the Stray Souls. This is a mythic. For 4 black, you get a 4/4. He is a skeleton warrior. He has 2 abilities. This first, 3 black, tap, sacrifice X other creatures. Return X target creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield.
Now, wait a sec. Can you return the same creatures?
They hit the battlefield they hit the graveyard once they're sacrificed. Is it part of the casting cost?
Yeah, it is.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they hit the graveyard, then you can return.
That's weird.
So just sack your Garys, return your Garys in limited play.
Oh, Gary.
Yeah.
And
So
then-
if you've got anything that cares about going to the graveyard or
entering the
into
battlefield.
the
What a
battlefield,
weird
then-
reanimator card.
Well,
Yeah.
it's also I don't know. I really like sack reanimate at instant speed.
Yeah.
That seems fun.
Yeah. And
I
then
mean,
his
it costs 5, so it's
yeah,
not
and then
cheap.
his other ability, 5 black, you can put Champions of Stray Souls on top of your library from your graveyard, so you can get it back
for 7.
for 7.
Never going away.
Yeah, he doesn't go away.
Yeah, like
Unless you
that's,
exile him.
that definitely feels like more of a commander card because the mana cost is gigantic, but it'll be real good
Man, there's
there.
a lot of
Yeah.
really cool black cards in this set, actually.
I got one.
Eater of Hope, 5 black for a 6/4 flyer. For 1 black, sacrifice another creature, regenerate Eater of Hope. Not bad. And for 2 and a black, sacrifice 2 other creatures, destroy target creature.
Better get some tokens handy.
Yeah, so if you can...
I think it's more eater of other creatures rather than eater of hope.
Yeah, it's true. How about Eye Gouge? Eye Gouge.
Such flavor.
For 1 black, you can give target creature -1/-1 until end of turn, and you're like, okay, it's a really terrible Tragic Slip. Wait, it gets better. Not better than Tragic Slip, but better. If it's a Cyclops, destroy it. This is the ultimate
pretty
sideboard card against the Cyclops deck.
We were talking about that. The only thing that would make it better from a flavor perspective, if it gets minus was it minus one?
Minus one, and if
Minus one, -1, and gains Cyclops.
and yeah, it becomes a Cyclops.
If it's not a Cyclops, it
in
becomes
additional
a
to its-
Cyclops.
well, it's dead if it was a Cyclops. So, but it becomes a Cyclops in addition to its other types.
Which means you could use 2 of these to kill something super crazy,
Exactly, which
right?
makes sense,
Which would be
right?
amazing, yeah.
Makes sense in the context of the card.
All
I
right.
got 2 for 1 by Emrakul.
How about faded return? 4 black for an instant. Put target creature card from your graveyard onto the battlefield under your control, and it gains indestructible. If it's your turn, scry 2. Dear God.
Huh.
Yeah, 7's
That's pretty,
It's so-
pretty pricey.
I
But
love that.
instant speed.
Yeah, it's, yeah.
That's great. That's like the that it's just like that's like the end of every movie, right? It's just like they're like, "Rah!" And suddenly all the things that were killing were like hurting you before, are just like, no, nothing
I'm
can
invincible.
stop me now.
I got something that can kill it in black.
It's also-
in
it's-
this set.
Yeah.
It's also the end of every WWE wrestling match.
It's called Guild, and I'm super stoked
That's
about this.
the guild.
Yeah.
This is the next card I was going to talk about.
Oh,
so
man.
Guilt.
Guilt? Is it guilt?
Geld is something different. It's-
Yeah, Geld would also be an appropriate use of this card.
It's Guild.
GILD.
Guild.
Guild.
Yeah.
Okay.
Guild.
So I
Yeah.
think this card is
Geld.
super good,
It's
super
Guild as
playable,
opposed to Geld.
and the flavor is so good.
All right, so this card reads for 3 and a black. It's a sorcery. Exile target creature.
Period.
Yep, just gone. That creature is just gone. It's sorcery
Forever.
speed, but it's still super good. Put a colorless artifact token named Gold onto the battlefield. It has sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool.
Oh, so your opponent gets that, right, James?
No, you get that.
So
You-
you pawned off their creature.
Yep.
Yeah, you basically sold their creature stuff.
So it's almost like it casts for 3.
It's like that.
Actually, it doesn't say what side. It says,
No, you get it.
yeah, I know, but it's just weird that it doesn't say that.
Well, it says you put it in.
Yeah.
Like,
if it would say
It would say
otherwise.
opponent's
Yeah.
control.
Yeah.
But it's like you turn them into a piece of gold.
Yeah, it's like that was a cool. That's a pretty sweet Emrakul you've got there.
yeah, I
Two-
flipped it for cash.
Yeah. I was kind of expecting more than 1 gold coin, but yeah, well,
I don't know. I know this guy. He'll buy pretty much whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
See, that would be really funny is if you
Now
got
it's his problem.
yeah, if you got gold equal to like their power or toughness, so you'd be like, yeah, I got a pretty good return on this.
Oh God, man, a dream.
Yeah, well, what it would be, it would be
no,
like
no.
put a the gold thing into play with X number of counters, and where X is like the power of the creature, and then you can remove a counter.
So
with
here's what
one.
you do. Here's my proposal for a commander deck: is you play Guild, and then you just use like proliferate and all those copy effects to just like make a giant pile of money, and then you claim moral victory.
Yep.
And be like, I'm rich.
Totes.
So I like that getting your pile of money is how you claim moral victory.
There's a couple other exciting black ones. One that me and Cam have been talking about, Painseer.
Yep.
Mm.
It's almost Bob,
Yeah,
I-
it's almost Bob.
I see your pain.
and I raise you some cards.
Yes.
Yeah, like Bob was busted.
Just
Bob remains busted.
Yeah. So this card's interesting. It's a bear. It's 1 and a black for a 2/2. With Inspired. So every time it becomes untapped, you reveal the top card of your library, put that into your hand, and lose life equal to its converted mana cost. So that's what Bob does every upkeep.
Right.
But this is more and less controllable at the same time. Like you have to find some way to
tap.
turn it
And there are
sideways.
plenty of ways to tap him in standard.
But
Right
he's
now, like Trident Tactics, Sin String, Springleaf Drum are all totally valid ways of getting this guy tapped without having to swing in with him.
Yeah.
but the nice
Or
thing
untapping.
the nice thing is that if you are in a position where you don't want to be gaining a ton of life
Yeah.
or losing a
You
bunch
just
of life,
leave him back.
you just leave them back.
Yeah, and I mean having this effect in a set with Scry also seems great, right? Like
Right.
maybe you just leave that land on top of your library.
And
get it out of the
theoretically,
way.
you could also be doing it multiple times per turn if you've got the right stuff going on.
Mm-hmm. So
Which
that's pretty
Could be
sweet.
very
I-
interesting. Yeah.
He's not as powerful as Bob, but I think he's more fun, more
Yeah.
interesting, and more.
He
thoughtful.
seems fine. Like
Yeah.
I think he's gonna get played. So,
Yeah, the inspired thing is kind of cool. It's as
like-
a mechanic.
yeah, it's like when War Leaders Helix came out. It's like it's bad Helix. so we're still going to play it because it's still a Helix, right?
Yeah.
So there's some cool red stuff coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Follow the Hammer. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to another target creature. So it's like a fight, only you're standing on the other guy's neck.
Yeah.
It's Fall of the Hammer?
Fall of the Hammer.
Yeah.
Nice. How much does that cost?
1 and a red.
Hold on. Can I see the wording on that?
Yeah, go for it.
Do.
Yeah, you fight, only they don't get to fight back.
That seems good.
The other words missing from this card are target creature opponent controls. So you could fight your own Reckoner.
Oh.
Right.
Interesting. Well, you can't have it fight itself.
No, but you could have
But,
another
yeah.
creature fight a Reckoner and then dome out your opponent with it. Right?
Interesting.
In some way. Like bad combos, but still interesting effect.
Mm-hmm.
I want to cast that on a Nivik Cyclops.
Oh. That's that's picante. Oh dear. So, did we talk about the Flame Wreath Phoenix last time?
A little bit, I think.
Yeah, this is the one that has tribute and doesn't die if you don't pay the tribute, and is a 5/5 flyer for 4 otherwise.
I like Phoenixes in Magic because they all have the thing where they are hard. They come back in some way, but they all come back in different ways. Like there are all sorts of different methodologies they figured out for how the Phoenix will be coming back.
Like Chandra's Phoenix is fairly elegant. I like that card quite a lot.
Mm.
This seems fine. I would utterly play that card.
Yeah, it seems real good. Speaking of cards that I think I said I would play, Stormcaller of Keranos. It's a gray ogre, so 2 and a red for a 2/2. It has haste, and then for 1 and a blue, anytime you want, scry 1.
Yeah.
I don't know, it seems
Is she
pretty good.
Rare or uncommon?
Uncommon.
Uncommon.
So that's the
Also,
off color.
There's that other, there's that red card from Theros that gets +2/+0 whenever you scry.
Really?
Yeah. So, again, combat tricks and limited.
Exciting.
It could be very interesting. Yeah.
Yep. Another one of the rares, Satyr Fire Dancer. 1 and a red for a 1/1.
That's him on the back, isn't it?
Yeah, there he is. Whenever an instant or sorcery spell you control deals damage to an opponent, he deals that much damage to a creature they control.
I like that.
It's getting some more value off your burn spells.
Well, it's just all those burn spells that are, deal whatever damage to creature or player or creature.
Yeah.
Now you do. Why not both?
Yeah, you just face them.
Not Zoidberg.
Yeah. Okay, so I had to read this a couple times because, I feel like I'm missing something on here because it seems really good. Have you seen Scouring Sands?
Yes.
1 and a red for a sorcery. 1 damage to each creature your opponents control. Scry 1. I was like, that's a common?
Yeah.
That seems awful good.
Well,
Like,
it's better than Electrolyze, I guess.
yeah, I suppose.
Because it scries one.
Yeah, like I
Or
would.
Electrickery.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah, I can't remember how much that one cost, but it seems pretty good.
Electrickery was one, it was a Magna Jet, right?
Right.
One red mana for 1 damage at instant speed.
Mhm.
Overload for 1 in red to do 1 damage to everything your opponent controls.
Exciting. And of course, the token red screw up the game card.
Oh,
Whims of the Fates.
God damn it.
5 and a red. Sorcery. Starting with you, each player separates all permanents he or she controls into 3 piles. Then each player chooses one of his or her piles at random and sacrifices those permanents.
I hate these cards so much.
Oh, and in brackets, piles can be empty. So it's like your board becomes a shell game.
So you could do. So you could go like
all your permanents empty, and then just gamble it.
and have a 1/3 chance of losing everything, but a 2/3 chance of having no problem at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's
an interesting idea.
That's funny. That's a weird card.
I do like the.
Yeah, I think I would go all in on black on this. Just let it ride.
I do like the the sort of insanity wolf style of the magic, where it's just that red always has those stupid like scramble verse or whatever, but they're always affecting everybody. Like it's never a obvious benefit to the person who cast it.
Yeah, not really. It's just sort of,
it's just like
pick target game up and shake it to see what happens.
Some men just like to watch the world burn.
Pretty much.
Oh, you guys left me green. Cool. All right. So, in green for rares, we have Courser of Krufix.
Is that
basically just like Oracle of Moldiah +1.
Yeah, this guy seems real good.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I think I know.
Green. You got a 2/4 enchantment creature.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, that's fine. Usually you pay 4 mana for
4 toughness.
Yeah,
nice
for a Pillar Field Ox.
Mm-hmm.
Play with the top card of your library revealed.
Okay.
You may play the top card of your library if it's a land.
Ooh.
Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life.
Seems quite good.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't
let you play the creature or cast something from the top of your library.
And it doesn't let you play an additional land, but it's
Yeah.
cheaper than Oracle of Mildiah, which is almost the same card. It's 3 and a green. This is from like Zendikar block. Yeah, 3 and a green for a 2/2. Play with the top card of your library revealed. You can play lands from there, or from the top of your library, and you can play an extra land per turn.
Yeah.
Right.
Like
Maybe it's 2 extra
virtual
lands.
card
I can't remember.
advantage, right?
Yeah.
It's I know in the previous podcast when Serge was here, he talked about his. This is the last podcast that Serge was in. He was talking about his ridiculous land deck.
Yeah, he was
And
so
it's just
excited about
this is
that
just
card.
A snap put in there.
Then we've got Fated Intervention for 2 green. Instant, put 2 3/3 Centaur enchantment creature tokens onto the battlefield.
Yep.
If you do it during your turn, scry 2.
Surprise
Yep.
centaurs.
So good.
Definitely.
You need to be heavy and green, but this card looks super sick.
I called that. I call that. Sorry, we're late.
Yeah.
It's just like the other guy attacks. And you're like, well, what am I gonna do? All right, boom, 2 centaurs.
They got their Starbucks. They got there as fast as they could.
Yeah, I got there as fast as I could. Oh, we're still here. Okay,
Yeah.
we'll attack you.
Yes, Commissioner.
Hero of Lena Tower, which is a 1/1 for 1 green heroic. Whenever you cast a spell that targets Hero of Lena Tower, you may pay X. If you do, put X +1/+1 counters on Hero of Lena Tower.
I want that card to be good.
I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, but I want it to be good because
That's tough. You need a lot of mana.
I love 1/1s for one that do things, but they always suck.
Is he rare? Or?
Yeah, she's rare.
But I mean, I could see that work. Like if you have some fairly low, fairly small little thing, like you ping him for with like a 1 mana thing, and then just make him huge.
There's going to be some ludicrous modern deck that just like targets it with I don't know.
Yeah.
Gut shot. and then puts like 47 counters. Swing.
Yeah.
You're dead?
All right, what's next?
Jeez, how does heroic work with storm? That just seems nasty.
Well, I mean, there aren't very many storm effects that target something that won't just blow it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like most of the storm effects that you could do that with would kill the creature.
Yeah, like Grape Shot.
This
Although-
kills but the creature keeps getting +1/+1.
No. This is whenever you.
No, but like with
I don't know.
Most of the other heroic guys, or a lot of the heroic guys, get +1/+1.
Honestly,
Yes.
if I'm storming out, I'm not targeting
No.
Lena Tower. I'm targeting you.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
doing it wrong. You're either going into tendrils or brain
I just
freeze.
think it would be funny.
It would be funny, absolutely.
That would be hilarious, but, okay, so then we've got Nessian Wild's Ravager. I think everyone's familiar with this card, having seen it on like it was spoiled fairly early on.
Yep.
Tribute 6 for 6/6. When Nessian Wild's Ravager enters the battlefield, if tribute wasn't paid, you may have Nessian Wild's Ravager fight another target creature.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Like,
None of those choices are good.
I love the tribute mechanic. I think
Yeah,
it's cool.
Tribute's a really cool mechanic.
I'm a fan of that. It's the taking the Vexing Devils almost. It's sort of taking it's like the Vexing Devils were sort of a test of
Well, I mean,
tribute.
it's and this is anytime you play Magic, whenever you give your opponent control of something, it's not going to be as good as if you had control, obviously, right?
Right.
You play this tribute card down, and you're getting a good card, out of the situation regardless, but they're getting the card that they know they can deal with.
Yeah.
Right. And I mean, when you play that card, there's always a way that you hope it's going to go.
Yeah, you want the 12/12, or you want to kill something, but they know that that's what you want. They know what you need, right? They can see it's like,
Right.
okay, if I give them a 12/12, I lose. If I just let them kill one of my dirty little creatures, who cares, right?
But like, I mean, at worst, in that case, this is a 2-for-1.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I think they've done a really good job with giving your opponent the choice, but still letting you get something really good out of the deal.
Yeah,
Right.
Even then, like sometimes the choice doesn't have a whole lot that's different about it. Like Ornithar, who is a 3/3 flyer in white for 3 and 2 white, flying tribute 2, so it comes into play with 2/2 counters on it. However, if tribute isn't paid, you get 2/1/1 birds.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
so
this is an awful choice either way.
Do you want the 5 power on 1 body or 3 bodies?
or 3. Yeah, exactly.
Right. And so, like sometimes when it's a choice between 2 awful options, that's fine. Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah,
But
like
it's
2
kind of-
sucker bets are still
yeah,
sucker
but,
bets.
Like,
Yep.
By the logic that you never want to give your opponents a choice, Desecration Demon is a bad card.
Yeah, and
yeah,
Factor
no.
Fiction should be a bad card, but it's
Yeah.
not.
It's not because
Yeah, because you always take the pile.
You're just like, oh, this is awful.
But you just have to take that into account.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're evaluating it.
All right. Well,
So, Scourge of Skull of Vale, who is a 2 and green for 0/0. It's a Hydra, so I think we can all see where this is going.
Yep.
It tramples. Scourge of Skull of Vale enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it, and has another ability: tap, sacrifice another creature. Put a number of +1/+1 counters on Scourge of Skull of Vale equal to the sacrifice creature's toughness.
Okay.
Blanks removal,
Yeah.
Yep.
right? Buffs itself.
He's a growing boy. He needs to get his nummies.
Yeah,
Do we?
I'm pretty happy throwing. Oh,
We need to talk about this card.
We were talking
Uh-oh.
about sack outlets in Theros, and that would be one of them.
Maybe we'll leave. What else? Let's end on Chromanticore.
That seems pretty good.
The one card.
Can I see it for a sec?
The reasons we were talking about sack outlets.
Yeah.
There's one other card I want to talk about because it triggers my thing.
Excuse
me.
Gross.
Play bad cards.
And what's that?
A Crowan Conscriptor.
Right.
A Crow Conscriptor. So it's a 3/2 for 4 and a red.
Real bad.
It has heroic though. Whenever you cast a spell that targets a Crow Conscriptor, gain control of another target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. So whenever you
It's a
cast
threaten.
it, yeah, I mean it's any number of those cards. That card is silly, and I want to play it.
No, I desperately saw that card when it was spoiled, and I spent like 10 minutes staring at it.
I can do this.
Good.
Just be good. Cost a
Please be
little
good.
less or have
Just
more.
a little less.
Yeah.
Like,
Ugh,
you're never going to get what you want out of it,
no.
right?
No.
But it's like just you think about what it could have been. You'll be like, it's like shackles during combat.
Yeah, like, okay, they swing in with their 16/16 Colonian Hydra, and you just like try to
You're like,
take
ha, 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 ha.
You take it, and you block their other thing with it, and you blow them out, and they're like, oh, I'm ruined, and they give up the game forever, and they like, carry you around the store because you're the big hero.
Nice.
And it's,
And then you come back to reality, and they're like, Doomblade,
yeah, right.
and you're like,
All right. You want to talk about some artifacts? Heroes Podium. You guys know what this does?
No.
There's a lot of text here, so give me a
Oh,
minute.
wow.
So
Six.
it costs 5.
okay,
It is a legendary artifact. You can only have one of these in play.
Right.
Each legendary creature you control gets +1/+1 for each other legendary creature you control.
Legendary Lord?
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. For X, tap. Look at the top X cards of your library. You may reveal a legendary creature card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. This card is ridiculous.
that's really weird, and also super good in Commander.
I want to play with that card.
Yeah. This definitely has a home in a lot of commander decks.
All right, because
Well, it's like, what
you're
format-
playing one-ofs anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what format are you going to be playing tons of legendaries in anyway?
Yeah. Like,
Yep.
A Kamigawa block-based commander deck would probably have a lot of fun.
Yup.
Yep. Well, I mean, because my snake deck for my commander deck has a lot of legendary creatures in it, so I could see playing
I
this.
bet that could be a format like Kamigawa.
To Legends only.
No, it's Kamigawa Theros combined
Ooh.
Just because it seems like there might be a lot of synergies between the two sets, just because they're both heavy. They're both the sort of heavy legend.
Yeah.
Heavy
Suddenly, a
enchantments.
bunch of like Kamigawa dirt cards become amazing because of Theros.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to finish this off with Chromanticore?
Let's do it.
All right.
All right.
About Chromantic.
Chromanticore.
Best name
Taste the
ever.
rainbow.
Ever. Taste the rainbow. E-cost for 1 white, 1
The
blue,
rainbow
1
doesn't
black,
taste
1
good.
red, 1 green. For that, you get a 4/4 Manticore, enchant creature Manticore. You can bestow this card onto something if you'd like. For 2 colorless, a white, a blue, a black, a red, a green. All right.
Okay.
This guy is a 4/4 flying first strike vigilance trample lifelink. Love it. And of course, if you bestow it, that the creature gets +4/+4 and it has flying first strike vigilance trample and lifelink. This card is bonkers.
It's just like the all singing, all dancing, dude,
And
everything guy.
Dice to remove.
Dies to removal. I want to play this card so bad. Like
so
when this card was spoiled, the first thing that I was greeted with
See
was
that again?
He
a few
has-
tweets at both me and Graham saying, I cannot wait for you guys to draft this card for your Academy videos or on the stream. He's going to be...
He actually seems not bad. Like it's a hilarious, goofy dirtle card.
Yeah.
But those
abilities are pretty good.
yeah, like everything on that card is good.
I think whenever I draft this format and I open him, that draft is now a
Five-color
five-color
bad
draft.
stuff.
Yeah, like I just have to make it work.
Yeah.
Well,
5
make it
strike
happen.
Plus, like, any explore effects you can find.
Yeah, basically.
Use it.
Anything that lets me fix at all.
Yeah.
the guild would be good for this.
Yep.
I don't know. Maybe there's some sort of like rainbow Highlander deck in aggro that's waiting for this guy. It'd be pretty good to slam. Just like
It makes me sad that the 5 abilities he has aren't the 5 abilities that the
Oh,
archetypes
the
gives.
had?
That
would've
would be
been so
interesting,
cool.
yeah.
Because then that,
Why? Because flying first strike, death touch.
Death Touch Trample.
Yeah.
Is
flying first strike, death touch, trample,
Haste?
haste.
Oh, that would be the word.
Death Touch and Trample
No,
are
sorry, not haste. Hexproof.
Hexproof. Oh, God.
Yeah.
But then-
probably like,
but
that was
then-
probably the first version of that card.
Yeah, and they're
Just
like,
give it all the art.
it's like, oh wait.
But then-
can't do
Looked at
that.
it and went,
Oh, right. Yeah,
But then
there's
all you have to do is have all the archetypes out, and he'll be fine.
yeah. Yeah, see, there's a reason they never combine Death Touch and Trample, because it's like you only have to assign 1 damage to each of the blockers to kill them.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yeah. So that was a very brief overview of Born of the Gods. I'm sure we will be back next week.
They didn't reprint Serum Vision.
No, that's in the next set. It's okay, Cam. Next set. Journey into the next
Fine. It'll be
Serum.
fine when they reprint Serum Vision.
Yeah.
And Condescend.
And Condescend.
And Foresee.
Yes.
And then there will finally be a good blue deck
Yes.
instead of a red deck masquerading.
So I hope everybody has a good time at their pre-release next weekend. You should be watching this before that happens, I hope.
And you should also be watching the next Heroes Path series.
That should go up, very, very soon. If you're watching this on the day it goes up, tomorrow.
Yeah.
If all goes according to plan and you watch this on the day it goes up,
We probably shouldn't, have schedules like that.
Yeah.
Who knows?
we need schedules. Isn't that the whole point?
Who knows when this will go up and
No,
or
no.
the other thing will go up.
This will go up.
Whims of the gods.
This goes up when
It's
it needs
true.
to go up. I don't know about the other thing.
Anyway, but that should be there'll be 3 Heroes Path videos coming out again, like
Yep.
the previous ones. One before the pre-release, one before the release, and one before game day.
Yeah.
So check those out to see the continuing story of us playing
Magic.
playing Magic.
and tackling these events. And if you want a more in-depth review of these cards, I'm sure you'll be able to find Limited Resources podcast going up shortly after the release of this video / podcast, where you will find they go through every single card.
Yeah, make sure you.
In fact, it's 2 episodes worth. They split it up. So
And
set some time
sometimes
aside.
they're like 4 hours long each.
It's
too.
a smaller set, so
ridiculous.
this one should be a little more manageable.
Yeah.
But it's still a slog. Like it's a lot, but it's a lot of really good information.
And if you're going to pre-releases or you're going to releases or something, it can really give you that
that leg up. Yep.
that edge in drafting and
Absolutely.
stuff. Just to know, especially knowing which cards are good, but especially knowing which cards are sort of the traps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cards that look good, but when I actually look at them, aren't.
Don't play fog.
Don't play fog. Tap concede. Don't play
play
fog.
All right.
Don't be that guy.
We will talk to you guys next week.
Bye guys.
Bye.